Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Away Days episode 58. And he's here. He's back. He's on the couch. I promise you this week everyone would be back. We missed Tots, but we had Flynn back and we got Nathan back.
Yep.
Welcome back and welcome back in a big way.
Yeah,
We've got a lot to talk about today. I'm going to run out of voice. I think by the end of it, we're going to try and cram it into an hour and a half. We'll do our best to keep it as concise as possible. But I tell you what, you were saying it off air, Riley. We thought with some of the league titles looking to be wrapping up, maybe it could get boring. But no, top four races, the championship title race.
It's getting more entertaining, it feels like.
Arguably each week, it's like a fine wine. It just keeps getting better and better and better. I don't want to really cut the... I want to get straight into it this week. Championship. So I talked a little bit about it last week, but we've had it sort of last every single week. So I thought, let's bring it to the top. Let's bring it right to the start when we're fresh. Oh my God. I do not know what to happen. Oh my God. We've got Leicester dropping point, looking like one of the worst teams in the championship. I think they've gone on one of the worst runs, I think, out of all the teams in the current state. Lost to relegation battling Plymouth on the weekend. Booed off by the fans. And I'll touch on my theory behind that in a little bit. Leeds then lost to Blackburn. They lost their first home game of the season. You think day after, so Saturday midday game, Friday night was Leicester. Thought, go and win that game, take top spot. They lose to Blackburn, who are sort of mid-table fodder at the moment in the championship. One of the few teams just not going anywhere. They lose that at home, their first home loss of the league season. And then Ipswich, despite domination from minute 0 to minute 90, draw 1-1 in Middlesbrough. So right now, Southampton going to win the title. That's what it feels like.
At the moment, I don't think we wrote them off, but we didn't have them in the sort of conversation for it. But now, I mean, if they win their game in hand, I think they're 2 points off Ipswich. And they look like the most sort of convincing team at the moment. I mean, they just flogged Preston overnight. I think 3-0. That was a very dominant performance. But yeah, all three teams stumbling. I mean, obviously the pressure's getting to them big time. You know, Leicester having that really bad result at Plymouth is bad. Leeds as well. I mean, they had big chances. Bamford, Gnotto had a couple.
Even Jorginho, had a good chance as well.
So, but in saying that, Blackburn had chances as well, and they were more clinical. So, I mean, it's just wild. I think there's only 3 games left, if I'm not mistaken. I think
so. We got 44, 45, 46.
So
the run down the table, Ipswich are top now.
Mental.
Ipswich are top with 89 points. Leicester in second with a game in hand, 88 though. Leeds in third on 87 with their 43 games. But as you said, if Southampton win their game in hand, they'll go equal on points, but a far worse goal difference, which will keep them down, unfortunately. But they've gone on a 4-game unbeaten streak, which is the longest out of all these sides in the top 5, because the Baggies have gone through a rough sort of patch as well. So no one wants at the moment. It is almost comical how crazy it's gotten. And the thing on Leicester, and to put it on like a bigger scale and compare a few teams that I compare to, I'm comparing it to the likes of Liverpool, unfortunately. I'm comparing it to the likes of Bologna at the moment, and I compare it with to Leicester. There are a lot of teams that there's a first season of a new style. Maresca's come in and changed Leicester's style. They've been a counter-attack FC team for the last 2 to 3 years since that title. Bologna obviously is just sort of a mid to bottom half Serie A team. And you look at Liverpool as well, a whole new system this year, the whole new style of football. This style, like how Arsenal struggled last season, as much as it was mentality for Arsenal, it was also the legs starting to go. And I feel like for all these teams, and especially now targeting Leicester in this segment here, Leicester's legs are starting to go, I think, a little bit. You're looking at the likes of Valverde and Vestergaard. These guys are solid defenders, but they aren't defenders that can go and play ball-playing football and high lines for 46 games, let alone all the FA Cup run they made. So I think the legs are just starting to go. And yes, they're still creating great chances, but it's almost like a bit like a Bayern as well. They're just getting exposed in the counter-attack at the moment. It was a 3-pass play, I think, from Plymouth.
Yeah, that was Plymouth's first chance.
Your own box, almost 2 passes and a direct run, and they score. With their first chance in the 20th minute. It's the formula. It's the formula to get at Leicester. It's the formula to get at some of these big teams, because absolutely respect what Maresca's done, taking Pep's style and adapting his own way there at Leicester. But I just don't think the players are quite ready to go and play this style for 46 games, maybe 40 games. But these last 6, it could cost them the title, could get them automatic promotion.
In saying that, though, I mean, if they win their game in hand,
they get back top.
You would think they should be up.
They should.
maybe not win it, but I mean, yeah, look, there's alarm bells definitely going on at Leicester at the minute because, you know, you want to at least rely on maybe your home form, but even that's of late is quite dodgy. Like they dropped a lot of points when at the start they looked like like ridiculous at home. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, you can't trust any of them. That's the problem. Like we're sitting here, we're probably gonna like say, oh, who's your top two? I'm gonna stick with Leicester and Ipswich. I think I had.
Yeah.
So I'll stick with that. But like, I mean, I don't trust anyone. I trust Southampton.
I wouldn't not be surprised if they somehow sneak through like all these forum, all these championship pages.
That is something that would happen in the championship.
That's why we love this league. I feel like it is comical at times. It is incredible at times. But even like Plymouth, like a team that's been a few moments in, but being very poor.
Yeah, they're like bottom kind of.
Exactly, like they're fighting for, you know, pie face. I'm seeing all these. I'm seeing all his threads and and his TikToks and stuff. And he was loving it. Like that was massive. That club, and it wasn't like they were amazing. They had one moment. It was literally one moment.
It was their first attack.
But the danger is same thing for Leeds. We can say the exact same thing with Blackburn. Yeah. Both sides had basically one big moment. And even for Plymouth, almost like a half moment. It was a nothing.
It came from
made something. Yeah. Like this is dangerous.
Yeah.
That these teams cannot put away, especially Leeds at home. They haven't lost there all year. The way to give that record up now, this time of the season, maybe these teams have the bottle. I don't know if it's a bit of that.
This has been Leeds in the championship for a while though. Like even before they came up, they had so many years where whether it was in the playoffs or instant promotion, they'd always just find a way to bottle it. When you think they like surely not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this isn't Hull City who are like battling for like playoffs, and you can kind of understand it a little bit. But this is Blackburn, like they're like 16th, 15th, like around that. They're not fighting for anything. They're just there to end, like kind of put a bit of pain
as much as you can be on the beach as possibly in the championship.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, I find it more worrying for like the Leeds result because they're at home. Leicester have at least got a game in hand, and they're still above them. So it's in their hands still, despite the result.
I don't trust their hands, but it's in their hands. It's dodgy hands, but it's in their hands.
Very dodgy, yeah. But, I mean, look, this could change the next game. You know, we could be having completely different conversations about two of these teams, or at least one of these teams.
Who would have thought we'd be saying Ipswich is the best result, despite throwing away 3 points as well. So Leicester hosts West Brom in a massive game on the weekend. Yeah, Saturday. That's a Saturday game.
That's huge.
7:30 our time. I might
I'm
tune in for that. I might tune in for that.
I'm going to have to watch somehow.
Forget the Premier League. I might be tuning into
even if I'm out, just
some championship football.
Phone,
Alrighty. Then Southampton away to Cardiff.
That's hard.
Tough fixture there. And Leeds away to Middlesbrough. Just took a point.
You wouldn't back them getting a three. They got to get 3 points. You wouldn't. Middlesbrough are a tough team to play against as well.
And where's Ipswich? I don't see Ipswich here. The fixtures are all over the place right now. With and then obviously the make-up games next Wednesday, next Tuesday night, sorry, over there, Leicester and Southampton. So if Leicester manage to draw or lose and then Southampton win, this game could be for an automatic promotion spot. After all of that.
Is that at Leicester?
It's at Leicester.
Okay.
But when we first previewed or touched on this game being that weekend, which ended up being cancelled because of the fire, whatever it was, we were saying, it's a chance maybe for Southampton just to build that gap into fourth and maybe for Leicester to secure the title.
Yeah.
But when we first started touching the championship, they were 14 points clear. They were in a realm of their own, playing 70% possession, outscoring teams for fun, taking the mick. Skip 5 weeks. And I know I'm hyping Leicester. It's probably a bit harsh because Leeds should be under the radar and so to Ipswich. But those teams have made up that gap, and I'm going to give them a leeway to have a few negative results. Leicester's given up a 14-point. I don't think any team has actually missed automatic promotion after being that many points ahead. I believe a commentator said that at some point as well. Like, it's got 5 games.
Do you think it is generally just run out of legs? A bit like Bielsa's Leeds when they were, because they train so...
Exactly. I think the legs are gone.
Yeah.
Because to play this style of football, we know, we saw it with Arsenal last season. I will touch on Bologna a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit with Bologna. You still got the 65% possession. Yeah, you still got the 12 shots, but it doesn't feel like the big chances. Like we talked about with Bayern, it doesn't look like those open, clear-cut opportunities where you should be finishing them. It's a case of a few half chances, maybe if one goes in, you go and score 5 or 6, but it's about getting that one goal, and it feels like this team and some other teams around the world football at the moment are just energy levels are just really, really draining. Yeah. Leicester made a good run in the FA Cup as well. We can't forget that. We went deep enough there as well. So it's not just the 46 championship games, there's also the 5, 6 extra cup games on top.
They played their best team. Like Dewsbury Hall played all of it. I think Mavididi might have come on, but still, I mean, he would have.
And a guy that hasn't played much before, like he was a squad player, I think he was out there in France. So I just feel like and obviously the last 3 games, I think all of it will just become adrenaline. But have they waited too late that they're so out of form now that it's all going to...
They've got hard games as well. Like West Brom's not easy.
West Brom, Southampton.
I mean... If you're a Southampton fan or a player, you got to be thinking like you got to be feeling the best out of because
you're up for it.
You've come from nowhere. Like no one's still probably expecting you to get that instant promotion. It's kind of you got like even if you lose, like
you can't really
lose.
Win
exactly.
Sort of thing. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean it's mental. It is mental. And the last 3 games this is probably the most exciting instant promotion into a season we've had
since I can remember.
Because usually the championship instant promotion are kind of set. It's always the battle for like
the playoffs. Is always incredible. Yeah.
It's always that battle. There's always like
we still have a battle there as well. By the way,
still.
We got
it's just both sides of it are just ridiculous at the moment. So.
I think from the looks of it, Ipswich have a bit of a break. So their next game's away to Hull, which is gonna be a massive one as well. And then they've got away to Coventry as well.
Players, Hull.
Yeah. So they got away to 2 teams battling for the playoffs. So Hull away and then Coventry away in the space of 3 days.
Coventry away.
Yeah, and then home to Huddersfield to end the season, who could be battling to stay up.
So that's Ipswich.
That's Ipswich's 3 games.
They're literally playing teams that are just battling.
They're playing teams that are playing for it. It's Hull 7.
Sounds like they all have hard games.
I don't think any. I think Southampton had the easiest run.
Yeah, they might do.
Let's have a look at Leeds' games. Leeds have got this weekend. They've got away to Middlesbrough, which should be tough. Away to QPR, who I think are still battling to stay up as well.
Yeah.
I think that they might
be
just
safe,
enough,
but
still, a new manager bounced there. Working and then home to Southampton end the season. Oh boy, that's going to be a blockbuster.
Are we doing like watch-alongs for the championship? Is that
live championship? That's going to be crazy.
That is insane, man.
Leeds hosting Southampton final day.
The fixtures are a joke. They're incredible.
The EFL's been cooking.
All those games. There's not one easy win there.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that QPR game could be the easiest out of anything, but
even that is that away?
Nah, I think it's at home. Okay. It's at home.
But still, they're like, I think they might already be saved, but I think they're still. I think
so, but I know that's away to QPR. Tough place to go. Tough place to go. You all know that. Every FIFA player's played there.
Yeah.
So as it stands, as I said, Ipswich 89 points, Leicester 88 points with the game in hand.
Yeah.
Leeds 87 points. Southampton, the game in hand, 84 points, but the goal difference is big. Then you've got the Baggies in 5th, 72 points in their own world now.
Yeah.
Norwich in 71 points. Then Hull with the game in hand, and Norwich with 65 points. They have to win their game in hand. They want to get in.
Yeah.
Coventry, you got that great result last week versus Leeds. They're on 63 points, so they don't look like they'll make it either. Maybe Hull might make their way in, but that sort of playoff bracket, look, it's its own thing. And QPR are only 3 points safe from the drop.
Mate.
They're in 19th on 47 points. Huddersfield on 44 points, who played Ipswich final day, I think I said, right?
Yeah, I think so,
So Huddersfield could be playing for survival on the final day versus Ipswich.
God.
Sheffield Wednesday in 23rd, who were playoff side not too long ago.
This is insane.
It is crazy. And Plymouth was a massive win.
So every battle that could be on in terms
is
of...
on.
Is on.
Is on. Absolutely on.
Fucking
Plymouth, who got a massive win, they're still not safe either.
What a league.
It is crazy.
I mean, I feel like we've said, like everyone said this every year about the championship, like, oh, it's the best season ever in the championship. But this is the best we've ever seen by a mile.
The quality of football,
yeah,
the quality of player down there as well this season, and the underdog story. We've got it all. We have literally got it all. Managers, high-level managers down there as well. So, God knows how it ends.
I
still want Ipswich. I'm going to stay with. I'm going to go with Ipswich and Leeds.
Yeah.
out of them all, it feels like Leeds have been the best across the last month.
They're a little bit more convincing.
But yet they haven't really gapped
Blackburn
anything.
result was kind of the first one that I can remember.
Yeah. It's these draws that are building up for this. But anyway, we'll be back next week. I tell you what, we'll be back next week talking about it all over again. And by then, maybe Southampton top of the table because the way things are going.
Could happen,
I have no idea what's going on in the championship right now. But yeah, who wants to win the title?
What a league.
That's the question we want to find out.
I'll stick with Leicester Ipswich. I'll stick with that.
I like that.
In that order, I'll stick with that.
You know, I wouldn't be even upset if Leicester didn't come up. I want a new side up there.
We want new teams. I want Ipswich up. I want...
give us Hull back. I don't mind a Hull.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind something like that again.
Just different teams, man.
Southampton probably deserve it with their bounce back.
Yeah.
But
We'll see what happens. Whoever gets it deserves it.
In the end, because you've gone through hell to get there.
And hate to be a fan.
All right. So I did the first half of the Champions League last week alone. Yeah. I thought that was amazing. It almost got better the night after on the Wednesday night, but it's almost got better again this Tuesday night. Barca 1, PSG 4. Who saw this one coming?
I'd like to firstly just say a formal apology to the Champions League after saying it was kind of dead in the round of 32 or whatever. Saying the Europa League was more entertaining was a massive mistake, and I do apologise.
Hands are up.
Hands are up. So, but I mean,
oh my God,
it competition. It went from like our Champions League kind of missing a little bit of something, isn't it? To oh my God, it's just exploded.
And the weak side of the draw, these teams are not looking like a weak side at all. They have taken it to each other. This is like
Dortmund are cooking now. They're looking like the team from last year.
Crazy. They found that form too late.
Fulkrug, I wasn't familiar with your game. You know?
Bang. he's been great this year as well for them.
I think I've been a little harsh on him. Maybe I think he's probably had an underrated year in a way because he still scored goals.
He's done what he's done years before, but just at a big team now. Yeah. It's not going to be blistering him behind the back line. It's not going to be weldies. It's going to be 6-yard box, crossing the box. He's going to score them. He's going to take those chances when they're there. That's the player he is. I guess we might as well talk about that game then first. Dortmund won 4-2 over Atletico. Julian Brandt scored in the 34th minute. Great ball from Hummels. He almost just sort of dinked it. Sort of just dropped into his path and a great roof that finish in the 34th minute. Ian Martin, my guy, Ian Martin. I'm so glad I brought him up earlier on.
You called that from minute one as soon as he
landed there.
He left, and
killed it.
Fair play.
Not a bad game. 39th minute goal. Yeah. He's third, I think, fourth for Dortmund, first in the Champions League. So big ups to him. He had a great game this game.
Yeah.
Then Atletico said, we're going to come back and play our football again. Just got in the front foot second half. 2 goals in the space of 15 minutes. 49th minute own goal. And Correa with a great volley in the 64th minute. Another great goal in that end of the pitch. Yeah. And then once again, the game got turned on its head. Fulkrug's head in the 71st minute. Yeah. Great ball for Marcel Sabitzer.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great ball, but that header is the header, unreal.
Corner, bang, flick it on, back of the net. And then Sabitzer would go and score again in the 74th minute. He's got 3 goals in his last 2 games.
Fair play Sabitzer. He's been,
big for them this season.
He's been big for them this season, but particularly the last month, he's been big.
100%. Won the game on the weekend versus Gladbach off his own boot.
Yeah.
With the goal and the penalty. And I think he's been really underrated in that midfield because Emre Can doesn't have that leg speed or that ability to change a game. Julian Brandt, obviously a good goal here, but hasn't been that great either.
Yeah, no,
Marco Reus not really available. Yeah. The only real consistent figure in there is Marcel Sabitzer, and in this game he stood up again. I think
you can include your boy in that as well, Maatsen.
Oh, Maatsen.
I think he's
don't get me started in Maatsen.
He's been unbelievable. I mean, there's no way, even if Dortmund somehow don't sign him, he's got to get out of Chelsea. Like, you didn't rate me. Why should I stay, you know?
Like, that left-hand side is the rejects. Yeah. Sancho. Maatsen. Look at that. They're in the semi-final. Both those teams are battling for 10th in the Premier League.
I'll tell you what, they can beat PSG.
Absolutely.
In terms of, I still don't trust PSG defensively.
No. And I said in my prediction video, though, that's their most expensive, experienced line, their defence. Yeah. You look at that on paper and think, probably one of the strongest in the Champions League. Yeah, we don't trust that
as a collective. It all
sucks.
Over the place sometimes. Yeah,
looking at some of the best Serie A players, some of the best global players that have come to this back four. Yeah, I don't trust it. You don't trust it. No one trusts it.
Just Dortmund's attack at the moment,
it's dangerous.
The last sort of 2 to 3 weeks, I'd say they've really just
beat Bayern.
Beat
Gladbach with 10 men.
They're defending so much. I know defensively, even the first leg, they made some really bad mistakes.
Possession mistakes, yeah.
But when they actually defend well as a collective and get these individual mistakes out, they're pretty hard to get past. So
They're a side that's solid in possession, underratedly good in possession.
Yeah.
Almost to the detriment of the first leg, as you said, some awful mistakes in the first leg. But, like, there's no reason why they can't go to PSG and control the game. And just, I think the biggest thing for them is, can they travel there and just not get beaten bad? Like they did versus Atletico.
Don't let Mbappe be the one to just
break you
I know,
apart.
like, every team's trying to figure out how to stop that, and it's virtually impossible. But, you know, do what Barca kind of did in the first leg. Just find a way to control him.
Show him out of the game.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's mental. Dortmund in a semi-final of a Champions League when they've lost Bellingham, and throughout the season they've looked pretty average at times. I mean, it's mental how they're fifth in the league.
I'm going to say, they might not even qualify for next season's Champions League.
Yeah, even that's close. But yeah, it's mental. Fair play to them, you know. Because it looked like it when Correa scored the volley. It looked like, okay, you expect Atletico to just be defensively solid.
Yeah.
But just going forward, they scored 2 great goals.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was
Not
necessarily really Atletico being poor defensively. It was just 2 great goals. So
yeah, that header. It was that ball, the header, and then Sabitzer from outside the box. Like it just
left foot, fair play to them. Fair play to them.
They've got all the tricks. I can't really.
It was entertaining.
That's a good word for it. It's entertaining.
So
entertaining. Nearly as entertaining the other game. So PSG down after the first leg. Again, I was questioning my prediction video. Is this backline going to hold up? How are you going to find Mbappe? Because he was shut out in the first leg.
Yeah, he was.
And in many regards, he was shut out in this leg as well. But the genius of the man, he still finds 2 goals. Rafinha, perfect start for Barca. I thought, okay, game's
a bit like Napoli, start off fast and kind of kill the tie.
Kill the game off. Yeah. They'll keep going. And then it all just went sour, sideways when Araujo got that red card.
Yeah.
Barcola's been very good for this. Like another part, I didn't know who you were. I gotta be honest, I don't know what you're all about.
Yeah.
This season's been important for them, man. I tell you what, as a young underappreciated, I guess, player, show up on the big stages, massive in this game here. He gets brought down. Araujo red carded.
Red card for you? Definitely a red card. Would you say?
I think it is.
Yeah,
I don't get where all the frustration. I can sort of get where the frustration comes from, but he is the last man. It's a goal score opportunity.
And any touch in the box, you are pretty much taught as a striker to go down.
Go down. Like in the modern game, it's 100%.
Even why would you risk it?
You're so out of character.
You're up 2 goals.
Yeah.
Even if he scores, like it sucks, of course, but just live with it. Like
stand him, man.
Exactly.
Stand him. You're one of the best.
One of the best keepers in the world,
and you're one of the best defenders in the world. Why are you going to the ground? Yeah. It was a bit of a brain fart.
It was
and
stupid.
Javi lost his head, and they also lost.
That was
the
about the red. They didn't think it was a red, right?
No, he didn't think it was. So he went and like kicked something, or I don't know what it was. It was all kicking off.
It's a red.
I think it's a red.
I think
I've heard a lot of Barca fans on Twitter and stuff going off about. I think it's
kind of a bit weird them complaining about referees in a way.
I admire him there, La Liga refs there.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
They think La Liga refs for this game, unfortunately. Get the Spanish refs.
Unfortunately,
And then Dembele would come score the 40th minute. He's got now both goals in both legs, and he was the happiest man in Barcelona.
You know what I love? We both had him on our top 10 right wingers list.
Yeah.
We were like, this guy's only scored 1 goal, but you know, we've got to put him on. 3 goals this year, 2 will come against Barca at crucial times.
But we both said he's a guy for big games. I said
he's got talent,
The guy in big games knows that, like, jinky majinky, get inside.
And he's got talent. He's got undeniable talent.
He's got bags of talent.
So,
I think this was a personal vendetta. He might go to be shit again.
Yeah, man,
he just hates Barcelona.
Watch him just ghost in the Dortmund game. That or he scores a hat trick and you know
shuts us up again.
We'll put him in our top 5. You know, forget top 10.
Number 1. Forget Saka. We got Dembele instead. Bettini, boy, what a finish as well. He said 2 great games out back to back. 2 big goals, 2 big games. He's another one who stood out. Cancelo then brings down Dembele. Mbappe converts the penalty, and then Mbappe again right at the end. So they kept him quiet for the 90 minutes, but he still got 2 goals.
Yeah.
Like, that's the master.
I mean, a pen, and then he got gifted one where
just landed his feet.
Accidentally or deflected off. I think it was Lemay.
It was all going crazy at that point.
Yeah, just that. I mean, even at after Vitinha scored, and then Cancelo brings down. I think it was Dembele. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like,
Two rash challenges.
Like, yeah, what are they doing?
Yeah.
That's Arejo, who's your captain, and
Yeah.
one of the most experienced fullbacks in the world in Cancelo. Like, that's... They lost it. PSG didn't win it. Barca lost it.
It was like Barca about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Their clean sheet record right now in La Liga, I kept saying, it's 7 games. I'm
It's good, yeah.
They've looked,
they're winning 1-0.
They look so good defensively. Midfield balance came back. They just lost their head. And the worst thing is, you get the red card, so Lamine Yamal has to come off.
Yeah.
And for me, he's their best player. Right now, he is their X factor, their best player, the most dangerous player.
Yeah.
You talk about a game when you're down to 10 men and you need a goal.
Yeah.
Get the ball to this guy. We've seen him do it late in games.
I mean, he set up the goal.
I just
Went
think...
past Nuno Mendes with ease.
Oh, that was abusive.
Yeah.
That was like...
And then you have to take him off. And it's just, it
hurts. It was a very poor game for your leaders.
Oh, yeah.
Your leaders, your manager...
That's when you need them to stand up. And
Sunday, Cancelo.
They didn't.
This Cancelo has been funny for me. Because I don't think he's the same player.
Yeah, he's definitely not. I mean, I don't regret putting him in as my top 10 left back. I think I've had him like 7th or 8th, maybe. Because like there's just so much there, but there's just times where he just loses his head, man, and it's you know.
Is it a case of, because I was thinking about this with the Cole Palmer video I did the other day, and he's adjusted so well to the Chelsea system, which is rubbish, by the way.
Yeah.
Is this a case of a Man City player just struggling without that rigid formula? This is how you play.
Yeah.
Look at Leroy Sané. I think he's best football player at Man City.
100%.
I probably should have more ideas in my top of my head, but I guess in a way, Gundogan as well, being very good for Barcelona, but was 10 out of 10s every week game for Man City. Is it a case of Cancelo, you leave that such great, well put together system with the mastermind behind it, that you get a Barcelona, it's still a great system, still a great manager, but it's not Pep, it's not Man City.
Yeah.
Even that's why it's fallen away.
Pep though,
that's what I mean. He's still good. He's still been a part of a solid back line, but last night has reminded me again of just
he's got that
inconsistency. There's a few like flops, there's a few poor performances there, there's a few brain fades there. Yeah, because that was just ridiculous. Again, at that point in time, it's dangerous. It's not like he's going to score from this chance though. It's not a direct scoring opportunity.
It's just it's just a reminder that he's capable of these things, and he's even when he was flying in the Prem, defensively there was always that kind of he's got a rush tackle in him. So I mean it was just you said it, the leaders just let him down. So that's an opportunity that, I mean, you get Dortmund in the next round and you'd back Barca big time.
Absolutely.
You know, despite how good we just spoke about of Dortmund. I mean, that's, they lost it. They bottled it in a way. Yeah. Their leaders bottled it.
The reverse remontada was done. I feel like it was, PSG came back with vengeance.
So fair play PSG. I mean, they hung in there. They scored some really good goals. So.
They're better the younger guys as well. Vitinha, Barcola, Dembele as well. Not really a younger guy anymore, but a guy that's, And
then your more kind of experienced guys stepped up in a way.
They did enough.
They did enough when they had to. Mbappe with the pen at a crucial time.
If they want to go through that back line has to be at its best.
Yeah. 100%.
I just don't think it's been at its best.
Dortmund ain't. I don't know what their record was in the group they were in together. I don't know their record between
great question.
each other there. But PSG have the talent obviously to do it.
Yeah,
it's just defensively. That's it.
And you still got to question how young they are. It's a younger group. Yeah. So do you back them?
But Dortmund are young as well.
They're young as well. Yeah, it's all over the place. What have you taken forever to load? Here we go. That's the first legs.
I can't remember what their results were.
So
I think PSG won the home game 2-1, maybe.
I might just Google it. It's probably easier.
I don't even know, but
I can't really.
That's a hard time to pick.
Yeah,
I'm struggling to think of who to go for.
It's good luck trying to predict that one.
Because I think most people will predict PSG, but I think everyone predicted Atletico. I don't know one person that predicted Dortmund.
I went Atletico just to... I saw the game going a similar way, but I didn't see Atletico letting loose of that control they had, but they had that second goal. Like you said, when you thought Correa got his second, you thought, okay, game's done.
Because they got so much experience.
30 minutes, they'll defend for 30 minutes easy. But almost instantly they went back and scored. So it's 1-1 at Dortmund, and it was
2-1 at PSG.
Why is it taking so long? This is it's really dragging out this segment, isn't it? I really killed the momentum here.
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. But
come on,
that's a really tough one to predict because PSG got the names, but I think Dortmund, just something about them.
They've got the form.
Yeah.
Why can I not find this game? I must have skipped past, surely. Match day 1. Yeah, I've bottled it.
Oh,
Let's say that PSG won the other game. I think they won the other game at home.
Yeah, I think they did. I'm trying to. I can't.
It's too hard. I've bottled that. My bad. I'm not used to two people again.
He's done Atletico.
I've done Atletico.
Oh no, he's done a Barca.
I've done Arsenal.
Oh god.
Alrighty, let's do our top 10 strikers. I don't want to touch on other things, but let's get our big second done for the week. Saved it up. It's a week in the bank, just brewing there nicely. Very interesting segment to see who we got in, because
I think we'll have
there'll be some familiar faces, but again, like most weeks, at 7 to 10, you're ordering who you got there is going to be very interesting.
I think our top 3 will be the same. I
assume so. As well.
I think we'll have mostly the same. I think we'll have the same names.
Let's see how we go. Let's see how you kick us off with.
Number 10, I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago. I've got Victor Gyökeres at number 10.
Yeah, fair play.
I mean, his stats are ridiculous at Sporting at the minute. I said it a couple of weeks ago when I said about him making a move, skilled, strong, fast, can finish both feet. For a guy that is, the size of, like how big he is and stuff, you expect him to be that kind of hold-up striker, which he can do, but he turns defenders and he's running and he's quick and, probably could be high if you were basing it off his stats alone and probably his performances, but it's one of those where are his numbers inflated like a Nunes was because of the league? And, it's going to be interesting to see if a top club is going to spend the 100 million price tag that's been slapped on him. Is he worth that? Is he worth the risk? So, I mean, he's 25, so entering his prime
moments
now. So it's just whether the money is worth it, which...
Risky.
I thought 100 million is... 100 million, you need him to come in and literally do close to those numbers.
Yeah. You can't have a year to work your way in, I feel like. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't have him in, but it's a very good shout. Yeah. I had Vlahovic in my 10. Now, take me back a few weeks, he could have been very high, but there's a lot more informed players and done it at longer periods.
Yeah.
15 goals, 4 assists in Serie A, and he basically carries that Juventus side, like we've said many times. A perfect, just complementing striker. He just... will find the back of the net. He'll find the net in the box, the 6-yard box. He'll find the back of the net. Obviously, just as you rightly said, just getting frustrated. I think right now with what's going on in Juventus. If we see a more expressive side, we could be seeing him the 19, 20 type goals in the league. But 15 goals in 27 Serie A appearances, very respectable.
Yeah,
and especially for that defensive unit. But I think there's some more impactful players. His influence is big. But the impact, I think there's some other more impactful player. That's why I've got him at number 10 for me.
I was close. He's in my special mentions. I just think his red cards for me just...
The head losses.
It's just petulance at times.
Yeah,
it's a bit,
good word for it,
Again, his goal returns is very respectable. Yeah. If he doesn't score, Juve are awful.
Mudded.
Right? They're mudded. But, I just think it's a hard list. He'd probably be 11 or 12.
Yeah, around that mark, yeah.
My 9 is Isaac.
9? Whoa, I like it. He's got bowling some big players ahead.
Third in the Premier League Golden Boot. He's had an outrageous season and probably one that's gone under the radar, but just because of his performance against Tottenham has elevated him. People are now starting talking about like, oh my God, he's mental. All the injuries Newcastle have had, he's been consistently scoring, consistently making an impact, and his finishing is elite. His forward runs are brilliant. I mean, you play a high line against, any team that plays a high line against Newcastle, and you're basically asking him to just go and score because he's so good at timing his runs. He's rarely offside. I can remember when I'm watching, he's rarely offside. He times his runs so well, and I mean, he puts defenders on his ass. We saw with Van der Ven, and we've seen against Liverpool. He always scores at Anfield. He's scored both times he's been there. So, yeah, and he's one of those that every team would want in their side. Man City would want him. I would have him in a heartbeat. He's unbelievable. He can play on the left, play as a striker.
Versatile.
So, and when people are calling him like the closest thing to Thierry Henry,
pretty good sign.
Not bad.
Not bad comparison.
Yeah. I think the greatest.
To argue the best ever Premier League forward we've had. Yeah, so fair play.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
I'm a little higher. I went 9, Antoine Griezmann.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I've got him. Maybe I have him too high, I don't know.
No, I'm a reactionary guy, and I take a lot of form on the season. His career, obviously much higher, but I think I've taken a lot of form in regards to this list here.
Yeah.
I think actually I know a lot because of what I've got ahead. But massive for them this season. We talked about how they play a little bit more aggressive this season, attacking football. It's helped him to a T. So he's got 13 goals, 6 assists, and 19 goal contributions in the league in 27 appearances. And for me, the big one is 6 Champions League goals in 10 matches. That's huge. And big goals, nonetheless. They've always been massive goals for me. Been a consistent player the last 10 to 11 years, it feels like. Since he joined from Sociedad, I feel like he's always been just phenomenal. And that's someone we said, for France, he's a different player as well. He's almost perfect for France. So he's all around, actually saying all around game, probably should way much higher up this list. I've got some younger guys ahead, but
I've got him.
Just so I guess some players this season are being ridiculous is the reason why I've got them a little bit higher. But superstar player in number 9 for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some ridiculous players.
It's hard to put 10 players
there's been some unreal strikers this season, honestly, so it's hard. 8, I've got Gyasi.
Agree. I got Gyasi at 8 as well.
I mean, Stuttgart just from 17th to 3rd, equal 1 points with Bayern, and he's been the main factor of that. I mean, I think it's like 25 goals in 23 games. Even in the Pocal scored 2 goals in 2 games, so his numbers are still
ridiculous.
Like he's averaging it's ridiculous, his numbers. Always positions himself in the right places in the box. An aerial threat, big unit. He's one of those similar to Gyökeres where you look at him and it's like big body. He's going to be a good hold-up striker. But he thrives off quick ball movement and getting the ball in behind him because he's really quick. He's having an outstanding season. It's going to be interesting to see what he does next season in the Champions League. And I mean, I hope he stays at Stuttgart. I really hope he does because he's got a manager there that is playing the exact way that suits him and that makes him score 25 goals in 23 Bundesliga games. So, hardly ever injured. I think he's only missed games due to AFCON.
I think the AFCON break,
he's ridiculous.
He was number 8 for me as well. We're not putting him high because this is one of those other players I have a soft spot for.
Yeah.
On the week, you said it perfectly on the weekend. That goal was just created through just great direct running and quick build up.
The volley? Oh my God.
But they create stuff so it goes from midfield to attack so quickly. And I think that's where he's at his best. Sort of some teams flourish and forwards flourish and just it being more reactionary than slow build up and precise build up.
Yep.
He's one of those players. He's not going to work in many systems which rely on slower build up play, but this Stuttgart system works. And then with him and Undav, which is almost telepathic, these two. You have to put them together as a little combination here at number 8. Because
if we did like a top 10 duos, they would 100% be on there, I think.
6th, 7th, maybe?
Yeah, 100%.
They on the weekend as well. They just work so well. They make runs for each other.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's multifaceted. He isn't just the big lump guy you just across the ball. He's not like a full cook, you just cross the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
He can drop in, play a little 1-2, work with Undav. And then when he spins in behind, say good night. Because he finishes every chance.
Exactly.
You don't catch him up. Can't stop him.
Yeah, bang on.
More goals per game. That's ridiculous.
It's mental, isn't it? Yeah.
Fair play.
Even obviously the start of the season was a joke. And then the middle of the season he was scoring like a goal every maybe 2 games. But I think in the last 6 games, I think he scored around 7 goals.
I think it's 8 or 6, 8 or 6.
Mental.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't stop.
Unreal player.
The GOAT.
7, I've got Osimhen.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Napoli have struggled this season. Osimhen's maybe struggled a little bit in terms of form, but I mean, he's the least of their worries. He's still a ridiculous talent. They've got to be the ones to supply him.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the other way around. last season he was probably a top 3 to 5 striker in the world.
Absolutely.
He probably would be maybe third.
Yeah, I think he would be third.
Which is just, ridiculous. Again, threat in the air. His finishing is ridiculous, even though he missed a couple against...
on the weekend.
On the weekend. I forgot who they played.
No.
I forgot who they played.
I'll check it. I'll get it.
But yeah, he missed a couple on the weekend, which you'd expect him to score. But still, I mean, his work rate is brilliant. He's always challenging the centre-backs, whether it's... turning and running at them or just being a constant threat in the box. He's always challenging them and, again, probably going to be on the move in the transfer window you'd expect.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he performs in maybe a better league, maybe just a different team. I don't know. Yeah. But, yeah, still so much quality for a guy that's still so much to improve on.
Still young as well, yeah.
Still young,
yeah.
So, yeah.
I also had him at 7.
Yeah.
Tell you what, it's hard to put his guy at 7 because you think of what we saw last season. It's like, almost like an injustice to have him not at least 5th.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. When Napoli play well, he's always scored, right? It's pretty straightforward. Like he's got the 13 goals in 20 Serie A games, dealt with a bit of injury, dealt with AFCON.
Yep.
So he's had an interrupted season. He's had 3 different managers. Like Kvaratskhelia been consistent all season, but hasn't had quite the output. But Osherman's always had the numbers there to back up what he's done. And you're right, he hasn't had much service, poor build-up, a lot of rubbish going on at the club at the moment. It's
around
a lot.
Yeah.
Everything's happening, and how can he build confidence? How can he perform with that going on? So considering he's still got 13 goals in the league this season, there's still a credit to him.
Yeah.
And always, as I said, whenever they win, he performs well. And it's always a very good marker, I guess. If a team does well and they require that player to perform well, it's a good sign that you're a bloody good 100%. Player. Different system, different team next year. I'm excited to see what he does. Even if he's against a higher pace, say like the Premier League or even like the Bundesliga, probably won't end up there. But those, I'd be excited to see what he does in those sort of leagues. Because I think if you can see more of his pace to get in behind, to drop in and then get back, it's like a Harry Kane type, get up, get involved, and then get forward. Something to add to his game. I think he'll be more dangerous that way. But
I think the amount of high lines I've played in the Premier League, like him just running in behind there.
He'd cause Tottenham nightmares.
Oh, man.
It caused United nightmares.
It caused Liverpool nightmares.
It caused a lot of the big boys nightmares, other than City.
Much, yeah. 6. I tried to get this guy higher, but I just couldn't. I got Ollie Watkins at 6.
Ollie Watkins,
I think he's got the most goals and assists combined in the Prem.
Palmer, something like that. It's close,
it's very close between them two. I think it might be equal, actually, between them two. He's got like
Palmer's
19 goals, 10 assists.
Yeah, because Palmer's on 29 as well, I think.
Overall, he's got like 26 goals, 10 assists this season. I mean, he's probably the most informed striker in the league at the moment, along with probably Isak as well. I mean, the amount of times where he's running behind and he's running down that left-hand channel and he stays on his left and fires it across the keeper or hits into the roof of the net. That's like his signature finish, I think. Again, he's just scores goals in so many ways. For me, should be the number 2 striker to Harry Kane. All this talks about Tony, but I still think Watkins is underrated because people are like, oh, we need Tony for penalties. Like,
don't go to penalties if you have Watkins. You can score your...
And Watkins can take penalties. Like, with the form he's in, he'll score and do anything he wants to any defender. And the thing as well, he makes Bailey and Diaby and Zaniolo better and allows them the freedom to take on a fullback and to maybe stay higher up the pitch because, he's just an unreal talent, unreal player. And ever since Emery's come in, even the back end of last season, I think he was brilliant. So he just carried that. He just carried that form on, and he's always showed like moments throughout seasons where you think, oh my god, he's got like 4 goals in 2 games. And it's like now this is Ollie Watkins, but then he's stuttered a bit and plateaued. But this season he's just been constantly getting better and better.
Absolutely, yeah. He's close for me. Isaac 6 first.
Yeah, nice.
Obviously the 17 Prem goals. Whenever he's fit, that's the thing. I still have a question mark, can he be fit for long enough? Been good this year, 24 Prem games so far, but we know what happened last season.
He missed a bit last season, didn't he?
It was electric when he joined, then an injury. They started this season in a few injury problems. If you keep him on the pitch, you're seeing a 20, 25 Premier League goal return. Easy. The lanky geezer as well. Like he's got that height, but he's got that pace and that finishing as well. He's a cool finisher. Like Watkins, who I'll get onto in a little bit.
Yeah.
In front of goal, they don't blast it.
Yeah, no.
Like I say every week, like with Rashford, he just lashes it, right? These guys, man, if they're in good form, bad form, indifferent, no chance, a lot of chances, they just roll the ball in the net. They hit the top corner when they need to. He just picks his moments. And I feel like at home as well, it's something about that toon crowd and him.
Yeah.
I feel like he just gets up for the moments. At home, I've got to find his home stats. I reckon his
scores.
goal scoring at home would be ridiculous. Him and Gordon down that sort of left-hand channel as well. Such a great duo. And I think you get some of these Newcastle players back. You allow Joe Linton to come back so Bruno can start spraying passes a bit more. You get a proper number 10 maybe next season if you can transfer one in.
Yep.
What's going to stop him from getting even more opportunities to score, and what's going to stop him from keep scoring? It's a £100 million player in my eyes. I think he's definitely that value by now.
100%.
Signing for 70, he's probably $100 million by now. Ridiculous.
Worth every bit of it.
Absolutely.
Yep, very nice, mate.
Number 5. Top fives.
I've got Griezmann at number 5.
There he is.
I mean, he's been so good for so long and probably doesn't get the respect or credit he deserves because he plays for a team in Atletico that sort of stereotypically under Simeone are known as this boring, ruthless, no one likes playing against them, no one likes to see them win kind of team.
Anti-football.
But he's always been brilliant. You know, he stepped up in big games. He stepped up in, you know, consistently throughout seasons for, you know, whether it was Barca. Again, he had a little bit of a dip in form, but still was okay there. Atletico, been unbelievable. And I think one thing for me which separates Griezmann, which is why I have him so high up, is his international football. Yeah. I think he's been one of France's best players in a crop of players that is unbelievable. I mean, you got Mbappe, you got Giroud, who's been sensational, Pogba, Matuidi, all these guys. And Griezmann's always been a constant player under Deschamps. So, yeah, he's an unbelievable player. He has been for so long and will go down as one of Atletico's probably greatest ever players, let alone, you know, greatest ever forwards. So.
Never went to Barca, right? If he won that title at
he still was okay at Barca, but again, Atletico was.
It's more that achievements. The fact that he left and they didn't win it is just. Yeah. I think it still hurts me because he deserves some trophy recognition for his hard work. Picked the wrong time.
At least he's got the international trophies too.
He got some big time international trophies, exactly. To back it up.
You know, World Cup, Euros, like you can't ask for much more.
Yeah, I wish he had some more club back. That's the only thing.
100%.
I'm furious about. My number 5 is Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
I tell you, the Arsenal game was a perfect prime example of what he can do. They were, you know, they weren't poor first half. They played their game plan for first half, which meant Ollie Watkins had almost nothing. The half chance he got, he nearly buried with a great attempt. Yeah. And then you give him a half chance second half, you know, running, spinning him behind the back line. You think I think it was Emile Smith-Rowe came across.
Yeah.
Made him look like a baby. And then skips past him. And then, again, cool, calm finishes. Little dink. Didn't have to overcomplicate it against a very solid keeper in David Raya, by the way. It's not like a rubbish keeper who go down too early. It was a great finish. And he's just that guy. He's got that pace right now. Physicality on most. You can tell when he's a bit underdone. He's not that physical player. I think about that Tottenham game, he had a really poor game, but he was not that physical. I think he was just a bit underdone. But when he's physically ready, he's really strong, got that turning pace, and just makes things happen, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, makes Zaniolo the better player, links him up well. Him and Bailey as like the pairing, they sort of have that sort of second striker and main striker. Ridiculous, both what those two do together. And makes the ground big, I feel like. That's the best way I can put it. Like, the way he can spin, move wide, drop in. Like, he always stretches the back line. Yeah. You saw with Arsenal, they got stretched when he used his pace getting behind. And always a danger. I think even at home, Villa Park, you see a lot of times teams try and be compact, but you know, Ollie Watkins go and stretch the back line, make it open for other players to get in the box. So, 26 goals, 10 assists in all comps. That says a lot about what he can do. Complete strike, Ollie Watkins.
Mental. Yep. Fair play.
4.
4. I've got, this might be a bit high, but Lewandowski.
Agree.
I've got him in. You've got him in?
Yeah, this goes against my whole Griezmann. I don't know why I put him in, but belief, right?
Again, there was probably talk at the start of the season, he's not the same player. Which, I mean, look, age gets to all players, right? Besides Luka Modric, it seems. But, you know, we should be talking about a Ballon d'Or winner here. You know, he's been so good for so long, so consistent. You know, he's had historical moments. The 5 goals in 9 minutes against Wolfsburg is just the most bizarre thing you'll ever see. You reliable penalty taker, leader. His finishing is a joke. Probably one of the best finishes of a football we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I still think he's had a good season. 20 goals, 9 assists, I think it might be something like that.
Yeah.
And still creating for guys like Yamal and Rafinha. And it's just what an unbelievable striker.
It's just a striker's striker, if you know what I mean. Like, not going to do
everything you'd want in a striker.
Not going to do all the new stuff, like in terms of dropping in. He's going to stay up there. No. You get balls into him, you find him in half chances, he'll bury it.
Yeah.
You give him a half a quarter, you give him an inch, it's back at the back of the net. And that's a striker. He's a real old school type striker. Just give him chances, he'll score goals. I think obviously with the Barca side and how up and down they've been this season, that's probably hurt him.
Yeah.
Look at that Bayern Munich system, the records he broke in terms of goal scoring seasons, record of how quickly he scored goals, amount of hat tricks. Yeah, unstoppable. Unstoppable force. So yeah.
Because I was looking at like other top 10 lists just to compare them to mine, and no one had him in. I was like,
I think that's ridiculous.
How? Like
at least 10. I know he's been tough, but still he's had probably some better seasons than some of the players on this list.
Exactly. So yeah, that's just mental. But
he's been good for them this season.
3, I've got Lautaro.
Martinez. So I think we've got the top 4 or something.
Ever since the World Cup where he was basically playing for every team besides Argentina, I think something's just clicked. I don't know if Messi's had a little chat to him saying, "Hey, I'm about to retire. Copa America comes. I need you fit and firing." And the numbers and the performances speak for themselves. What he's been able to help that team do, get into a Champions League final, win the Coppa Italia, I think it was. About to win the league, and like all the best strikers around the world, he's always a constant threat, no matter sort of how bad he's playing. And I know, there's been games where he's gone, how's he missed that? But he's always a constant threat.
Yeah,
he's always, causes such havoc for defenders, and he's got a manager that plays to his strengths and a team that believes in him, and it's going to be interesting to see what this Inter team can achieve over the next couple of seasons, because he's going to be the main guy.
Yep.
And if they're going to get to another Champions League final, continue to dominate Serie A, he's going to have to continue to produce the same numbers that he's producing and the same performances.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not like a clinical finisher. You can't say he's a clinical finisher. No. But when he's in form, he's a lethal finisher almost. There's a difference where his average games where he's not at it, he's going to miss some chances and you're going to have to live with that. But when he's firing like he was probably 2 months ago, he's went that run of just being incredible, right? Last in the Champions League, just clutch time moments. And he's got all the talent there. He's got a good size, strong, enough pace there as well, and then knows the areas to get into and works really well with I think him and Turan work really well together.
I was about to say, I think he feeds off. I think he's at his absolute best when he's got a number 2 next to him that is firing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Lukaku when they went under Conte.
All the way back then,
Even at the start of the season with Thuram.
Yeah.
So...
Even with an Arnautovic there, he works well with enough for someone that's next to him.
Yeah.
And obviously he gets a lot of chance for that midfield creation, but you got to put him away.
Yeah.
You have to put him away somewhere. And 23 goals, 29 appearances, that's just the mainstay, right? That's your captain, that's your leader.
Yeah.
And he is a part of the best team in Italy.
Exactly.
At one point,
most dominant team by a mile.
By a long way. And it's not like they're playing pessimistic football. They're not like they're playing negative football. They're playing really attacking football.
And I think he's 11 goals ahead in the...
A long way. With Osman not being there this season, it's been ridiculous.
So, still unbelievable.
Superstar.
So, Copa America, I think, is a big tournament for him.
International stage hasn't done anything yet.
A lot of people are saying, is he that guy? That can win a game by himself at the top level. Yeah. So, but still, I think he's brilliant.
I think he's been great season.
Yeah. Number 2, I've got Haaland.
Oh, you've Haaland 2, the League 2 Haaland. Okay, you get him 2.
I have Haaland number 2. Numbers speak for themselves. Last year, unbelievable. The treble, the 50 goals, whatever it was. There are weaknesses to his game, but those get put in the bin when you're playing for a side like Guardiola's team that doesn't require you to drop in deep like some of these other players we've spoken about to go and get the ball. His job is primarily just to put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. And he does that 98% of the time. The other 2% he misses ones where you think like the Man United one, like the one against Arsenal where it just goes under his foot ridiculously. But the guy I've got at number 1, I just think is one of the greatest strikers ever. So,
do you think Harry Kane's the greatest striker ever?
I think he's one of, yeah.
That's the thing. This is where I come from. I'd prefer to have Harry Kane in my team, but as a striker,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like Harry Kane can basically play 10, play a false 9, can play as the number 9. If you really need to, you can play, I guess, out on a flank if you're playing like no striker and just 2 wingers. Like,
yeah,
he's got the pack. Like what is he got? 39 goals, 12 assists, 7 Champions League goals, which is big as well. Not always been on for his Champions League goal scoring, but Haaland probably one of his toughest years in the last 3 years because every year seems to be flying.
I think it's been a huge overreaction as well, by the way.
31 goals, 6 assists
like
still.
Every,
6 assists.
Every striker in world football has gone through this slump.
Yeah. Like,
Harry Kane's gone through
Yeah, exactly. And nothing. This is, again, nothing to take away from me either. 'Cause I think last year I was team Kane. I think as a player, I'd rather Kane.
Yeah.
Being just a striker's just objective list.
Yeah.
You just sort of want Haaland. The guy just puts it in the net. Like, that's all he does.
Yeah.
But as a player in your team, as a Man United fan, boy, it would have been great to have brought Kane across this season. Probably fixed a lot of our problems. Allows.
I just think Kane can do. I think Kane can do everything. I think Haaland can't do some of the stuff that Harry Kane can do.
The best way to put it, isn't it?
Yeah. I also think Kane makes others better as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So. But I mean, you know,
you're picking out of 1A, 1B sort of stuff again, right? Yeah.
Like there's no like kind of disagreement or anything. It's like
feather in Kane's cap that he's gone to Germany and done it as well.
Yeah,
I think we can't underrate. It's still a different league.
Yeah,
it's not the Premier League. It's not what he's used to. So, and he could break Lewandowski's records.
I think still, maybe
he's still on, but he missed a few gettable chances the last few weeks. I'm thinking like, come on, if you want to win this record, got to score these goals, man.
Yeah. That Harry Kane curse. That he won't win it. There's no trophies. Just don't exist for him, mate. You know.
Oh, the poor guy.
Feel bad.
One of the greatest strikers ever to not win a trophy. What it could have ended up being.
There's no way he comes to the end of his career and he hasn't won anything meaningful.
I wouldn't be surprised if he somehow won like a Euros or a World Cup. That's the only thing he won. Like, out of all the things to win, he ended up winning one of the hardest things to win. In terms,
I also think there's question marks about these two in like the big games as well.
Oh, I've said this. I'd rather Edson Alvarez. I'd rather Julian Alvarez if I'm Man City and Pep for their way of football in big games like Real Madrid.
I mean, yeah, he's done
versus
he's done it for Argentina.
Yeah, because Alvarez is everywhere and nowhere. There's a giant like he is up the pitch, he's down, he's in midfield, he's going forward, and allows you big time players like Foden, Doku. Savio, when they get Savio, to let them do what they want, and he just becomes like a 10. Yeah. Like a Dybala sort of thing. That's what he reminds me of. Want to review this one more time?
I've got Gyökeres at 10, Isak at 9, Guirassy at 8, Osimhen at 7, Watkins at 6, Griezmann at 5, Lewandowski at 4, Martinez at 3, Haaland at 2, and Kane at number 1.
No, and Vlahovic, Griezmann. That's like a war crime, Jesus. So Guirassy at 8, Victor Osimhen at 7, Alexander Isak at 6, Ollie Watkins at 5, Robert Lewandowski at 4, Lautaro Martinez at 3, Kane, and then Big Erling at number 1.
Good list, mate.
Like us. Again, done well on the similar page again.
I'm pretty happy with all our lists.
I think especially since midfield, I think we've been exactly like top 5.
I'm pretty happy with that.
As expected, we are probably running out of time. We've gone about an hour here, but we're going to cram in Bundesliga, just the league itself. So I made a video about it, so I'll let you take the floor here. Leverkusen win the Bundesliga title with 5 games to spare.
Yeah.
Wow.
The celebrations were ridiculous.
Oh, I loved those. I loved those.
So good. The fans trying to get on the pitch when Vert scored. I think it was his second one before he scored.
And he's doing that.
He's like, don't want a points deduction, you know. But it was good to see. It was such good scenes. I mean, they've never won the Bundesliga before.
It's 120 years since the first division title.
They had this title of Leverkusen, you know. But yeah, I mean, they absolutely deserve it. The football they've played has been ridiculous. I mean, we've raved about it every week. It feels like, you know, every single man, the whole 20-man squad, whatever, how many players they got, every single one of them has stepped up. You know, from their captain in Tar and Xhaka and Wirtz to, you know, Nathan Tello and the right is it Pavlovic? Something like that.
Pavlovic,
the right back that on loan from Bayern. They've all stepped up and I mean, it's just been one of the most dominant league title wins in the Bundesliga of recent, you know.
To end an 11-year run as well. The mental side of that as well that's ridiculous.
I saw some Bayern are on like similar points compared to last season. I think maybe a couple of points off.
How clear it is?
How clear Leverkusen are, and it's going to be interesting to see how seriously they take the last 5 games.
Please don't lose,
because like the cup, you've won that. Like you're in the final.
You got your F team.
You play fucking striker as a hold up striker and you still win.
The youth team come out.
Yeah. But that Europa League, obviously they got a good lead over West Ham.
Tough second leg,
but still, the way they're playing, I can't see them losing. I hope they go hard still for the league, just to remain undefeated, to shut up Arsenal fans.
So please, for all that's holy, please just do it.
But yeah, I mean, they'll have to take the Europa League. That's the most serious. That has to be number one. Yeah. So, and I mean, even that, they're huge favourites.
With Liverpool looking at going out.
Yeah, we're out. We are out.
AC or Roma taking one of each other out.
Yeah.
Like,
who's
left?
I mean,
no disrespect to other
treble, it would be unbelievable if they could pull it off.
Absolutely.
I mean, they've a good chance to do it, but yeah, it just takes one game for it to all.
I
mean, they're guaranteed 2 trophies anyway, at least.
Yeah,
fair play to them, man. They've been great all year. They've been so good to watch.
I loved it.
Even their goals on the weekend. I mean, Xhaka's second goal was...
And Verts, you said when I messaged you, the diamond is a diamond is.
He's a gem, mate.
They're not selling him, by the way. I've read it up. They're not letting him go.
I would be shocked if any of them were to get sold.
It's almost like a TV shows, like last season separated across 2 seasons. Yeah. It's like, we'll be back one more time. Yeah. We'll do one more ride, all of us back.
I think
and
that's
then it'll probably just dismantle.
Even guys like Frimpong, like there's been talks of like, he might.
Bayern, United.
I think they'll all stay for another year, and then it'll be like Alonso will go to Madrid. Someone is going to come in for Verts at like 150 million. Frimpong and
Man City will be in for.
I mean, if you were a club, you would be stupid to not try and go in for some of their players.
Oh, right now you would as well. Yeah, absolutely.
But Leverkusen won't sell, and if
they'll be attractive right now for signing as well.
Oh God, hell yeah! Their team's mental. Their team is already insane. I know. And they will. I mean, I think they'll. I mean, where would you try and improve? Maybe a striker is Schick and.
Schick's the clutchest man in world
football
right now.
But when it comes to Champions League football, you're playing more games.
I think you want a striker, you want another midfielder, whether it be the Hoffman role or the Andrich role, one of those ones. By the way, Hoffman comes across and wins the title. What a move that one was.
Yeah.
Fullbacks, you're fine because Teller can play fullback.
Yeah.
Sometimes they drop in. Hincapié played left back on the weekend as well.
Maybe another, just depth, honestly, just depth.
Back him up with a few other players. They haven't missed a signing yet. Who are the numbers I read out for the videos? 29 games, 25-1, averaging 2.7 points per game.
Yeah.
Boniface 18 goals whilst missing a
like,
massive chunk of the year. Vert 17 goals, Frimpong 12 goals, Grimaldo 11 goals, Schick 11 goals, discounting some of his clutch goals as well in the other competitions. 43 game unbeaten run, longest to start a top 5 league in the last 60 years.
Mental, man.
Florian Wirtz is the first German player to get 15 and 15 in 30 years. And then some of the signings. Teller.
Is that right?
No one from a German player has got 15 and 15.
I would have thought like a Thomas Muller or something.
I thought that would have been the exact player to do it, but nope, none of them.
He's fucking incredible.
And then some of the best signings. Teller brought in from Southampton. I thought he was at Southampton.
There's still 5 games as well.
Add another 5 more there. Teller, Boniface, Xhaka, Hoffman, Borja Iglesias, Grimaldo, Stanisic. And they lost.
And they spent
Diaby.
They spent nothing on those players.
Iglesias is a loan move. Hoffman was about 10 mil. Boniface was about 8. Xhaka was free.
Grimaldo was free.
Teller, I think, was 20. Probably the most expensive one.
20. Wow.
From Southampton, so it was a bit more expensive. Damn. They lose like club legends like Bellarabi, Amiri, Diaby.
Yeah.
They lost Hudson-Odoi from loan, who was massive for their survival and turnaround last season. So it wasn't like it was the easiest run of all time. They lost some huge players, club legends as well, and they've still gone and done it so easily.
Fair play, man. They're incredible at the moment.
Alonso Ball to the moon.
That's going to be a good watch transfer market.
This is my question. Forget transfer. If they were in this season's Champions League, So you sub them in for let's just sub them in for Munich. Do they go all the way? Not win it, do they go all the way to the final?
Oh my God.
Because what would be stopping them right now in the form they're in if they would literally just positions were swapped with Bayern? If they're versing Arsenal now, a second leg at the Bayer Arena, 2-2.
Oh, yeah, they win. Yeah.
They stroll that.
No, they win.
And they go into I know it's a semi-final versus arguably the two best teams in the world. But what's not saying this is the third best team right now in world football? Could you imagine like a Patrick Schick 94th minute winner at the Etihad? Just limbs everywhere. He loves a late
it's
moment.
come from a Hincape has run through and is at left wing.
Whoops the ball in. Jonathan Tarr backpod onto home.
You're not wrong, yeah.
I was just thinking the other day when I was in preparation for that video, I'm like, imagine if...
You've caught me speechless again.
I try my best to do it everywhere. Because what, they're going to get the treble. I think they might get the treble. But people always say, oh, it's the fake treble.
I mean, it is very on.
Like, they would be like, oh, Europa League treble doesn't count. But like, if they were in the Champions League...
All those people saying it doesn't count, by the way, why haven't Liverpool... Liverpool aren't going to win it.
Yeah.
And we're supposedly one of the best teams in the world. Yeah. Arsenal didn't win it when they were in it. Man United won it once, but had countless
and had 4 attempts to go at it.
Exactly. Yeah. So all these so-called Premier League teams that
these big boys
we're saying it's the best league in the world, or this and that, have won it once, and that was Man United.
Yeah,
that is a genuine tough trophy to win.
It's a big trophy now.
It's a tough trophy to win. You know, we've seen 6th place Atalanta go to Anfield and should have been 5 or 6-0.
Yeah, yeah. And even say like some of the Italian teams have struggled to win as well.
Exactly.
Which we see as one of the big leagues in the world.
People saying that is just, it's just the Europa League. No, that is a hard competition to win.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Yeah.
And they're walking it. Even they struggled against Karabag.
Karabag, the 4th best team in world football.
Karabag almost ended everything.
It would have.
The treble, their unbeaten run, everything.
But Patrick Schick,
and
Jeremy Frimpong playing right wing.
And Grimaldo with knuckleballs from the edge of the box. Like, this guy is in this. I've never seen a guy like he's. Oh man, I've seen like videos of him practicing it in training, and like Alonso's been teaching him. And there was
I've seen that video of Alonso doing it.
There was one shot, no, nothing.
Yeah.
The next shot, oh my god, it was like top corner, like keeper. Like
Alonso shows one, then he just doesn't copies it and just and goes straight in.
Yeah, to have a coach like that is
the Alonso effect.
He's unreal. So massive congrats to them. They are unbelievable.
Just a start though.
And it's just a start. Yep. They've
still
got a cup final, which anything can happen in a one-off game.
Yep.
And then Europa League. I mean,
I'd love to see if Liverpool don't get through, which can look unlucky.
Won't happen.
He's very negative, young. I still believe it. No. If Roma or AC get through, I'd rather see those sort of clubs meet in the final. I don't want to see Bayern tested in the final.
Yeah. Well, they will be either way.
Obviously, but I want to see one of the more established. I want to see an established team because that gives a bit more credibility.
That's why everyone wanted Liverpool.
Exactly.
If you were to beat a Liverpool
that's
side,
a massive tick in your box.
Yeah.
I was thinking back in that point. You think about if they're not on that side of the draw, if they're on the other side of the draw, they are probably the 3rd or 4th best team in world football right now.
Yeah.
Form-wise, probably second best team. Probably Man City than them.
Yeah.
In terms of form. The aura obviously gets Real through a lot of things, and they will forever will. On paper, they're probably the 24th, 25th, like around the sort of 20 mark best team. But if they were just chucked in that Champions League, I think they beat BVB. I reckon they beat Atletico. I reckon they beat PSG. Probably get through Barca.
They get through Barca,
I see them getting past Arsenal. Well, they got past Bayern Munich. They've got the number of Bayern. Yeah. I think they'll struggle versus Man City because it's a very similar style of football. Yeah. They could get past Real purely just because they might just out-attack them.
The only, question mark, it's not even a question mark, it's just a general thing, is that, Man City, Real Madrid, these teams are not even Bayern, Arsenal, they're good on the ball, so how they do, Leverkusen have a lot of the ball 60, in 70%. All the games. Yeah. So how do they do off the ball when they don't have it for a 15, 20-minute period? But even then, that's they do fine.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had moments they've had to do that.
Bayern had the ball. And
that early game, they said the 2-2 early in the season, they had to absorb a lot of pressure in that game. Yeah, that wasn't Bayern actually relevant.
So, you're bang on with they would... the Champions League, they would, yeah.
So interesting if they win this season's champion, especially with how this whole Champions League's gone this season. It's like we need a team like Leverkusen to throw some spanners in the works. But
I think they're scarier next season. I'm gonna be honest.
That's the thing. If you sign a defensive fullback just to be ready for the big games,
and they will. Alonso and
it's against his mentality.
They know the board. They know that this is their golden window. They have to make it count.
It's gonna be a 2-year window
because they know Alonso's going to Madrid.
Yeah, it's a perfect handover. Florentino's probably told him 4 years ago.
Can we get like a Netflix documentary on this, like the last dance?
Leverkusen till I die or something. Get an Amazon Prime. Come on, load it up. It's gonna be exciting. That team, you probably don't need to replace anyone. Just add some depth. The team's
young as well. Like Frimpong ain't old. Grimaldo's like 28, I think. Jack's
in his late 20s, early 30s, something like that. Yeah. Andrich is quite young.
Andrich is like 28, I think.
Yeah.
None of their forwards are old, I don't think. Like
Boniface is really young. I didn't realize how young he was.
Wirtz is 20, just come off an ACL.
Versus a baby.
He's genuinely in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or, without a shadow of a doubt. He's 100% in the conversation. If Leverkusen win a treble, and even if they're not undefeated, if they win a treble, and I think Germany probably have to win the Euros, I think. Maybe at least get to a final.
And Musiala not take the limelight of him.
Yeah.
I hope they share the limelight in the Euros.
I think they're pretty good, like, friends, and like they get on well.
I hope they play well together. I want to see.
It won't be like England with Gerrard and Lampard.
That's the thing. I want to see England have Foden, Saka, and Palmer, and I want to see Germany have Musiala, Wirtz. Who's another young star they got there? Germany got a few youngsters I was looking at the other day. I want to see I want this Euros to be about the young guys.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think Kobe Manu,
Kobe Manu, yeah.
With a few players, Henderson Ball, Phillips we trust,
The double pivot. Yeah. Guys, when in doubt, double pivot.
Zach McGuire and Kane. It's like when we had like Jedinak and like Milligan playing DM. It's like that with Henderson and Wright.
And those guys just pop up for the odd goal here and there.
Yeah, oh God.
I was going to talk more about Bundesliga, but you segued me really nicely because our education corner for this week was 5 future Ballon d'Or winners. And it was in line, I think we'll probably have similar sort of names because it was in line with what the hell are some of these young guys doing right now. They are carrying their football clubs on their backs.
You can't really go like rogue with this, like, because it's kind of,
I feel like all 5 of these guys from mine probably could do it.
Yeah.
I'll start with one of the, I guess, the roguest ones, or maybe not the roguest because you know me pretty well now. From the French league, I went Zaire Emery.
Yeah.
Because I keep loving it. Every time I see this guy, I'm getting more and more excited. I'm like, please sign for a big team. Please have a league I actually want to watch because composure, vision, IQ, and the common theme with all these players, intelligence above they're playing like Kroos and Modric.
Yeah,
but they're like 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
In this case, 18. Like, it's ridiculous. I think Zaire Emery's ceiling is probably it's hard to say with all these players are elite, but
it's up there.
One of the highest ceilings of all players in world football right now. Not talked about enough, I feel like.
Do you think he can win it at PSG, or will he have to move to win it?
Any time like the present, that's the thing. I was like, this could be it. In terms of PSG and the players at the club, in terms of winning things, and especially the Champions League, which is the holy grail for PSG right now. Right now is your chance. I gotta be honest. I thought.
You think it's a chance?
I think right now is your chance to go and do stuff.
Ooh, that's a smoky.
It's a very because I think they get through versus BVB just by the way, not And then when you get to a final, like we've said,
anything can happen. Yeah.
It's at Wembley. We know things happen at Wembley. Wembley's one of those places, right?
Yeah.
For Mbappe, for the likes of Vitinha, these underrated players.
Yeah. I just worry about Mbappe.
What if Zaire Emery off the bench, 78th minute?
Because they're both French. They both play for PSG. The limelight's going to be all about Mbappe. Unless he does like a fucking scores and is like clearly.
And just dictates midfield. I don't know.
I like it though.
I think it'll be a massive moment for him as an 18-year-old to win the Champions League.
God.
Yeah, crazy. Anyway, that's my first player.
My first player, I'm just going to get this out of the way. It's Wirtz.
Yeah.
It's fine, Wirtz.
Well, same here, by the way. Oh, shock.
Oh, this guy. He's unbelievable. He's got everything. All 3 of his goals on the weekend were so well taken. The first one, the knuckleballs, dead at the keeper, but
you're not saving it.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. He's been mental all season. He's only 20. He's just come off a big injury, and he's going to go for so much money, and he's
150.
He's going to be. He already is one of the world's best players, and he's going to be for the next 10 years, 11 years.
20. He's basically a baby right now, so yeah. I actually had Florian Wirtz. He's my second. So my third, I'll go Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like I think we're going to have the same names here, but I felt for a man last night. You could tell when he came off, he was gutted. Like that was a game that needed Lamine Yamal. We've already seen it. This guy has come up clutched moments after clutch. With that 2-2 draw they had, was it away to... Who was it away to? Early in the season when they were struggling, they needed a result and he popped up, cutting in, Belgium at the back of the net. And that was like...
I remember the game, yeah.
Lewandowski doing that. Rafinha's done that. Felix hasn't done that. Who's done that? Like, Lamine's done that at age 17.
Yeah.
Like, he is their best player at one of the biggest clubs in the world. Oh, man, Pedri's at probably Pedri. But when all the injuries that he was their best player. He's the one guiding them through this moment, not some experienced head or just good management. It's been him. Like, they're playing him week in, week out.
Yeah.
17.
I like how he talks. He's like, I think it was out before the first leg, he was like, what do you think the score's going to be? Or who do you think is going to score? And he's like, me.
Yeah.
Like,
why? Yeah, and he
playing at Barca, man. Like,
he's kind of school the next morning.
Yeah. Even international. Like, we've seen it. Spain against Brazil, he was...
What a game.
Standing ovation at the Bernabeu. At the Bernabeu.
Everyone's saying...
They should be booing him
and
throwing...
Throwing bottles at him.
Paper planes at him and stuff from the match program. You know what I mean? Like,
He's the future, man. He's
big time.
Serious.
I mean, we've said it. Just how these youngsters are managed. Gavi, Pedri, Jamal, all of them. Even Kabassi. I
hope he keeps fit as well. He's another great player.
I'll go Foden.
That's your third. Third, yeah.
Potential to win it this year as well. He's up for PFA Player of the Season. Yeah. Man City up for a treble. Who you'd think he's going to be a big part of the Euros. He's just sensational. He's had to wait for his time with De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva and Mahrez and all these guys, but now it feels like it's starting to become his team. It's not his team yet because he's still got De Bruyne there, but over the next sort of 6 to 12 months, I think it'll be that this is Phil Foden leading the line.
Stockport Messi.
Pretty much, yeah.
Love it, the Stockport Messi.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, I didn't have him because I went another one of those bigger players. I went Vinicius.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Vinicius as well. So I have one more different. So, yeah, obviously. And again, another player I have a bit of a soft spot for. But Real Madrid, if they go and do crazy things here this season, and I think beating Real Madrid, Man City might be one of the biggest achievements in terms of what fans view of this side. Because I don't think anyone's given them a chance at all after that first leg.
I'd say probably like 90% are saying City will go through, you reckon?
Yeah. And maybe it's just the aura thing and what I remember growing up, always remember.
And obviously the 4-0 last season is...
Yeah, it's very fresh people's memories, right? But I just still back them in.
Yeah, you have
and I feel like why they're going to win it? Because of Vinicius. And big games, Vinicius stands up. If Brazil go win the Copa America, what's saying you can't win it next year? You know, a lot of players have got next year's award. Fine, because no Messi, Ronaldo, we're going to see some different guys going for it.
You never know if Argentina or Portugal win it, I guarantee one of them will win it. 100%.
I'm here for Ronaldo. I'm here for Ronaldo number 6. I'm here for it. Give me Ronnie giving us when he holds the Ballon d'Or. No, in all seriousness though, I think next 3 years it could be his time to strike because it's going to get overpopulated there at Real Madrid. It's going to get too much. So I think next 3 years you got to go for it. If I'm honest, and he's very close. The numbers haven't quite been there, as we said a few weeks ago, with the left wing list, but his performance is still at a very good level. Impacts game, changes games. So I think he's a real threat next few years.
I wrote down a little note, like all the talks about Mbappe and Haaland, but I think he could sneak one in the next year or two.
He's in.
I think he'll sneak.
Especially with how good Real Madrid are going to be.
100%, yeah.
Do you have anyone left?
I've got one more. I've got Musiala.
Well, like it.
I
didn't think that. That's smart. That's a good one.
Yeah. Again, it won't be. Despite how good he's been this season, it won't be this season. No matter how good he does for Germany at the Euros. I mean, he has the capability to just take over the Euros.
Oh, 100%. He could be the story of the Euros.
He could be the story of the Euros. He could be the Euros' best player. Yeah. He's got that in him. But again, he's not going to leave Bayern. It looks like he's going to get a big contract extension. He's going to be the face, the future of that team.
Yeah.
He's got everything. It's just going to be about consistency and how well Bayern are how quick can they turn it around?
I know.
There's been some mental talks about bringing Nagelsmann back, which I find laughable.
And summarise the club at the moment.
Just ridiculous considering they literally forced him out of the club and now they want him back.
Would he even want to come? Is any info about him
I would
wanting
like
to come
to
back?
hope for his own self-worth that he wouldn't want to go back.
Get stuffed, yeah.
Like, get stuffed.
Yeah.
Like,
I will coach Leverkusen in 2 years'
exactly,
time.
yeah. So, yeah, it's just going to be about how quickly they can turn it around.
The club's a shambles right now.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's looking like Barcelona United type territory from Bayern. That's a good shout. I had Cole Palmer as my 5th guy.
Yeah, nice.
Based on the video, I've already said obviously yesterday's video, but yeah, it could be. Again, there's a lot of these players that are in the after the next 2 years, sort of in that 4th year.
Yeah. After
the big boys have finished with it, where you look at a lot of players who can go and capitalise on it, but it's how good they remain. Do they remain in the conversation between now and then? I think that's the big thing. If you can remain in conversations and then have your year, that's when you're going to win it. Because I think the next 6 years, we're going to have just one-off winners. We're not going to have these continual dynasty type things.
I agree, yeah.
Especially with Mbappe moving to Real and Haaland, at Man City where things get taken away from you. You're going to have those 1 years and then continue to be in the conversation. And then it might be a Musiala year, then it might be a Palmer year, then it might be a Foden year, then it might be an Mbappe, a Vinicius year. And I hope it's like that because that would make it interesting, right, to be.
There could be a Saliba year.
You never know. Flynn would make it a Gabriel year if he was hesitant to make it a Gabriel year.
I was very, very close. I originally had him, but I was like, I just think with Spain and stuff, I just don't think. I had Rodri in.
He deserves
one. As a potential Ballon d'Or.
He's like a Modric, he's like a Lewandowski deserves one. He deserves a lot.
I just think for Spain, because I think so much is going to come down to international football this year.
Oh, this year, 100%.
It always does.
100%.
Well, like we saw with Messi, it comes down to international football. 9% of the Ballon d'Or's worth when a World Cup is on is...
It's just the storylines of... Like, I know the Messi line was massive, but the storylines coming into this Euro is going to be so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Mbappe v Bellingham. Musiala v Bellingham. Musiala v Wirtz.
Yeah, Musiala v Wirtz.
Like, civil war. Like, it's going to be...
Wirtz and Musiala versus Foden.
Yeah.
You know?
Foden and Saka versus... And Palmer versus, Musiala.
We've got Yamal and versus Endrick if they're going to...
That game, that friendly should go down in history. That's one of the best friendlies I've actually watched.
That was mental, wasn't it?
I've never been so engaged in a friendly in my life. But those two were killing it.
International break was actually
the return of international football.
I wouldn't mind an international break now being a Liverpool supporter. I wouldn't mind it. I would have liked one kind of after Atalanta.
Just to have a bit of a whoo.
But this Euros is going to be entertaining as hell, man. I can't wait. End the season. End the season.
I want it to be done. Let me not talk about this now. I'm going to have a cry. All right, I want to flick over these things quickly. Then Stuttgart keep winning.
Yep.
Garassi and Undav and labelling on the score sheet there for them. They won that game in the first 30 minutes. Once again, as you said, equal with Bayern. So again, very interesting there. If Bayern decide to focus on Champions League, if they beat Arsenal,
they have to.
Then they just nick us. Imagine getting a second spot, man. Massive for Stuttgart. As I said, they were relegation zone in the last few seasons. They've been around the place. Fair play to them. Augsburg keep their 6th place hopes alive. A Tietz goal and a Michel goal.
Yep.
A 2-0 for them. And I touched on it last week at the solo pod. Freiburg and Frankfurt's games that come are like the most horrid fixture run to come. So Augsburg are in position 1A.
Is
to go and take that.
Europa?
That's for Conference League.
Yeah,
because they're still missing, I think, coefficient. Oh, they might have the coefficient now. By the way,
so the top 5 is...
I think they might... So 7th place might get it, but if Bayern get knocked out, I think they lose that coefficient. By the way, all the talk about Prem being the best league in the world, I think Prem is 4th in coefficient. Probably because United and Newcastle ruined it. But if Arsenal get knocked out, I think Prem cannot get the coefficient because we think Leverkusen will beat West Ham.
Oh, really? I thought the Prem was already guaranteed.
Prem is 4th right now in the coefficient.
I thought it was already guaranteed the coefficient.
I thought as well.
Because everyone's been talking about,
I'm pretty sure 433 put on Instagram that we're 4th right now, Premier League.
Mate, I can't keep up with this coefficient.
I can't keep up every fucking day. I'm pretty sure it's going to keep changing until the final is decided. I think the points get based on a pretty... Oh, God, don't take my word for it.
Lines. I've been seeing loads of stuff saying it's
I thought it was secured. I think because West Ham are going to get knocked out, Arsenal might get knocked out.
Yeah.
And because Bayern and Leverkusen will probably go through.
Okay. Damn, this
it works as a double whammy, but I don't know. But
we'll see at the end of the season.
If not, Augsburg still might get it because they're looking good for 6th place down, which is exciting to see. Another sort of bottom side coming through. Valencia could have a chance after sort of average season to get the final European spot in Spain as well. Our team, Almeria, got another big point for Almeria.
They're still fighting and winning. Well, not winning, but just fighting.
Just fighting.
Fighting, and
they've got their win.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. They might break the lowest points record. I don't. What are they on now? They're
14 points, I think they're on.
Oh, massive for the boys down there. Cadiz, yeah.
They're on 17, I think.
Oh, the battle for 19.
We'll be here, watch long. Imagine final day of the season we had Cadiz versus Almeria.
Championship quad screen. Cadiz playing, and forget the Premier League. No one cares about the Premier League either.
Because that's pretty much
it's washed now.
There's just
Farmers League.
Just stupid hope. Who cares about hope?
It's a hope that kills you.
I care about reality, and that's Messi. Never stuff up in this situation. So
never believe.
I came in here not want to talk about Premier League, so.
Yeah, okay, so I'll skip it.
Stop.
It's a touch like that for me as well, don't get me wrong. And then in Syria, the confusion continues. I once sort of prefaced it earlier on, but Bologna's going to be slowing down. Their legs going to be going a little bit under them. Back-to-back 0-0s.
Yep.
Monza and Frosinone.
Fair play, Monza.
Monza again, just that team.
Because they still look dangerous.
They've been a pain in every one of the big boys. The top 6 this season.
Yeah.
Another game, a lot of chances for Bologna, just not scoring.
Yeah.
That's once again, like I said with Leicester, like I said with Liverpool, Arsenal, the legs start going from under you. You don't quite have that real clinical edge and overwhelming pressure, but I think they'll be all right. But I think very close now. Roma, and I think 3 points behind them. They've got to play that suspended game versus Udinese.
Yeah.
After the Indica incident.
Even they don't look completely convincing, I'd say.
No, they're back and forth. And with the Europa League football, they might go and focus on that.
Yeah.
God knows what happens there, but that's going to be very interesting. And then I want to finish touching on is there's a 10-point gap right now, which seems a lot, but it's going to get very interesting between 4th and 8th.
Yeah.
So Napoli, again, still haven't really gotten any real form or continuity, but yet there's still a chance to nick some sort of European football.
If they had some form of consistency, man, they would be...
They could be 3rd.
Yeah.
They just dropped so many games they shouldn't have dropped. So Bologna, 4th, 49 points. Roma, the game in hand after that suspended game on 55 points. So they could narrow that to a 1-point gap. Atalanta, who probably focus on Europa League now, 51 points.
Yeah.
31 games, so game in hand as well. Lazio, 49 points on 32 games. And Napoli on 49 points after 32 games as well. So, again, I could tell you the fixtures, but it's very confusing. But basically, what we're trying to say is Napoli could still somehow scrape European football.
Yeah.
Like we say almost every second week here, they could scrape it. Bologna could just drop out of Europe altogether with the way things might be going. And Roma might end up getting Champions League football with it all being said. So, very interesting in Italy.
I don't think too much will change.
You think it'll stay as it is?
Pretty much the same. I just think everyone's from that kind of gap of, 4 to 8.
About 10-point gap.
I just think everyone's so inconsistent. You can't really trust. There's
That's
not enough evidence or form or that players are going to turn it around to suggest that anything's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think Napoli are kind of already on the beach.
Feels like
they
shouldn't.
Even Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia, they're kind of, especially Osimhen, probably looking
1 foot at the door
next season. Yeah. Even Roma, they've sort of plateaued a bit under De Rossi. Did well in the Europa League to beat Milan.
That was a great result, yeah.
But still in the league, still just kind of getting draws here and there. And I think Bologna will just do enough just to hang on. Even, Juve are lucky that some of these teams will just drop points at the wrong times. Because
Juve seem to be the most in-form out of them all now. And they're a bit rubbish as well.
Holy God.
That's a
it's the
rebuild
same
as well.
thing. Their playing squad's not good enough. Allegri might not be good enough, and he probably isn't at the moment. I think he's leaving anyway at the end of the season.
I think it's confirmed for a source last week.
That playing, they need a full clean out. There needs to be at least sort of 7 to 8
That's a
players
2-season job.
Yeah,
because you can't do it 1 season anymore with the money in FFP.
And who would want to buy half of those players anyway? They're pretty
mid-table
trash.
fodder.
They're going to struggle in Champions League next year big time if they don't seriously invest.
Yeah, if they get a tough group, do they even win a game?
And I don't know what their FFP kind of, because I know they got a deduction
last season.
So.
All over the place there.
Just be Forza Inter,
Come on, Bologna, give us some entertainment next season. Deliver us some football.
Please, Leao, don't go on your fucking
sabbatical
15, 20, 30 game fucking goal drought thing. So.
And quickly, I was going to get a prediction for the weekend's FA Cup action. United, Coventry 5-0.
Well, look, I just think United I think Manu and probably Bruno will just get you guys over the line.
It's too black.
Coventry just won't be able to stop them.
Yeah.
I think it'll be 3-1 United. I back Coventry to get a goal. consolation, but yeah.
I'm going to 3-2, by the way. I think
United?
By the way.
I was like Coventry.
I think it's going to be an awful game of football.
Yeah.
In terms of just like... it'll just be back and forth.
I wouldn't be comfortable as a United fan. I would actually hate it. It's fucking Coventry, but still.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I've made to hate my club. When there's always one season of hope. You have one more, and now it's always the manager's fault. The players.
Do you think he survives a day if Coventry?
If Coventry bet, he's gone.
He's gone straight away.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Don't bother leaving the stadium, mate. Pack your bags, head out to Amsterdam, mate.
Damn.
Just go back to Amsterdam.
That's rough.
Which is I actually like the guy. I actually like the geezer, but he's not doing much to make anyone else like him. And the fact that Flynn called this all this time makes it even worse as well. Flynn's like, I told you since day one, Ten Hag wasn't that guy. And I'm like, oh,
there's just no way you guys lose this. Surely not. Surely not.
We have not won in like 4 games.
I know.
We only win against you. Yeah. You got the only guys that give us wins. Okay, that's touchy. We shouldn't get on that. Let's talk about other teams. Man City and Chelsea.
Man City will still win, I think.
Chelsea make it hard, I feel like, though.
Chelsea are good against top, Liverpool, Arsenal, and
they should have beaten City,
but Arsenal and City in particular.
Yeah,
their form's actually been alright.
8 games unbeaten.
I know they've drawn to like Burnley and
they've beaten some big boys and drawn to the relegation too. Sheffield and Burnley.
Drew to Brentford, which was a horrible game.
Brentford, Sheffield, and Burnley. They drew to.
I still back City. I'm gonna go 2-1 City. I think it'll be pretty close actually.
I'll go 2-0, but I think it'll be like a late goal to make it 2. I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea youngsters won't have the clinical edge because City is going to like overload Palmer and force him to come to the table.
Haunt them a little bit.
Yeah.
Because of
that
when
last
you go
time.
back to Wembley, you want to be versing like a Coventry.
Yeah.
Not an easy game,
especially if you come off what happened as well, the way they just threw it
to
away.
Be fair, the way they've been struggling against championship opposition, maybe not Coventry. Maybe City is the game.
Picking the team. Who would have thought they'd be picking City out of all the teams to play? Because United always had. I'm saying that they got the better of us last time, but United, Chelsea, I think they hadn't won since like 2018 or something.
United cannot lose this game. Man.
Another Manchester derby final.
The fallout will be massive.
I won't be here Monday.
Call off your own podcast.
For many reasons, I could
just
be here in general.
Get Flynn and Tots here. They can do one by themselves.
Tots will be robot, but I don't think Tots will even come on. The Tots rant will be incredible. Flynn might just sit there and just cop just a barrage of just
words.
He
might just sit with like his sonnies, get like a couple of pints here. Just
pina colada, sit there. I'm fearful what could happen after that. Yeah. Okay, we're both going Manchester derby final again.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
A replay.
Yeah. Well, and it'll be the same as last year. Someone will turn into Gundogan, probably be Kovacic or something, No,
Mendes. Who's his name? Mateus Nunes. Yeah. Pops up and why not? That's what City do. We hate City.
We hate City.
That's it. That brings this episode to end. A lot of Bundesliga talk, but we had to this week with the league rounding up.
Yeah.
A lot more to talk about next week. I promise now, I think the championship will be the start of each episode because that was good fun today. So that will be the start next week. We'll have a new top 10 next week. We might do based on what's going on this season. It's
quite sad, actually, the top 10.
Yeah. It's like the same with the Monday pod. When they were done, it was quite a sad moment. But we'll find more things. But the education corner can keep us running.
Yeah.
Our 5 subjective
We'll still have some good lists and stuff.
Yeah, we'll still have some lists in there. We'll have some combined 11s maybe next week as well. And some Champions League semi-finals to preview as well. So very exciting times.
We didn't even preview though.
I didn't preview tonight's games. Going to be good games.
Good guys. Fight win. Whoever is the better team will
win. Yeah, whoever scores more goals should win this game. I went with Bayern and Real. Who are you going to go with?
Arsenal and Man City.
Wow, okay. Yeah. I didn't expect that to come out. I thought you'd say Bayern, but anyway. No. You hate Bayern anyway.
I just don't trust them. But Sane, here's your time, mate.
If any time to shut him up.
If Bayern win and Arsenal... If Bayern win and fucking Sane's unreal, I'm tagging you. And top 10 right winger deserves.
Number 1. Top moments, Dembele and Sane.
Yeah.
All right, I got to run, guys. Thanks for joining us. Please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. We're at 451. Let's get to 500 before the Euro starts. That's our goal now, a new goal for the year. Come on. Thanks for joining us, mate. We'll be back again next week. Don't worry. You'll never hear from just me ever again. We'll be back in the duo again next week. 5 stars on Spotify. Check us a follow on Apple Podcasts. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the Champions League. Actually, this Champions League would already happen. Hopefully, enjoy the Champions League last night. Enjoy the weekend's action, FA Cup, Bundesliga, all the like. And we'll see you guys on another podcast or video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.